of the November council meeting to order at 7 p.m. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Trustee Bunkowski? Here. Trustee Dover?
Here.
Trustee Guerrero? Here. Trustee Noah?
Present.
Trustee Foley?
Here.
Trustee Heslin? Here. President Weissen?
Here.
Treasurer Snosky?
Here.
And President is
Approval of the agenda. I'd like to make a modification to the agenda under communications and committee reports. We're going to add a item A and then shift the rest down. We'll do proclamation on retired Captain Mosley. Hopefully I didn't butcher his last name. So then we'll the rest of the DC and the quarterly.
I'll make a motion to accept the agenda with the minor change as presented.
It's been moved and supported that we accept the amended agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Public comments on the agenda. Yes, sir.
I apologize, I'm not trying to do this every month. Bill Williams, Direct 58415 Pembroke. A couple of things I want to talk about. And Trustee Gilbert is probably going to bring this up, but I don't know if anybody's had a chance to look at the planning commission meeting from last week. Horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. You can go to YouTube and take a look at it, but it is horrible. Now, not saying that everything this petitioner was right, but it doesn't matter. It was horrible. It was treated horrible. So I'm hoping you all get a chance to take a look at it and something like that doesn't occur again. Next item I want to talk about is the BSNA. Where I used to work, we went to the cloud a year and a half ago. And it's tricky, but it works really well. I would suggest that you get as much on-site training for the personnel paid for up front because it's tricky. It's going to take a lot of, it's complete change in the way you operate. So that'd be my only comment. Thank you.
Thank you. Public comment on the agenda? Seeing no further. Approval of the minutes. Regular meeting minutes from October 14, 2025.
So moved. Support.
It's been moved and supported that we approve the regular meeting minutes from October 14, 2025. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Consent agenda.
Make a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and supported that we approve the consent agenda as presented. Next, we have,
Hey, you gotta vote.
oh, I'm sorry. It's been moved and supported. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Payment of bills. Treasurer,
Approval of November 2025 payroll in the amount of $139,391.62 and bills to be paid for November 2025, $615,456.36, totaling $754,847.98.
I'll move to pay the bills in the amount of $754,847.98.
Support.
it's been moved and supported that we pay our bills in the amount of $754,847.98. Roll call, please.
Trustee Foley?
Yes.
Trustee Noah?
Yes.
Trustee Heslin?
Yes.
Trustee Guerrero?
Yes.
Trustee Dover?
Yes.
Trustee Bunkowski?
Yes.
President Weissen?
Yes. And treasurer's report.
Total village cash assets in the amount of $9,307,266.97.
I'll move to receive and file the treasurer's report.
Support.
It's been moved and supported that we receive and file the treasurer's report. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Communications and committee reports. Item A, proclamation on retired Captain Mussolini. So we have a proclamation here that I'd like to read out loud. Whereas Captain Bill Mussolini has faithfully and honorably served the Village of New Haven Fire Department for 18 and a half years, demonstrating unwavering commitment, courage, and professionalism in the protection of life and property. And whereas throughout his distinguished career, Captain Mussolini has exemplified the highest ideals of public service, responding to countless emergencies, I ran out of my house once to my neighbor's house directly across the street, and Bill still beat me there. He was always very, very fast to respond. Leading by example and serving as a mentor and role model to his fellow firefighters. And whereas his steadfast dedication, leadership, and compassion have earned him the respect and admiration of his colleagues, the village administration, and the entire New Haven community. And whereas Captain Mussolini's tireless efforts have greatly contributed to the safety, strength, and preparedness of our village, ensuring that hundreds of our residents were trained with life-saving CPR education. And whereas upon his retirement, we reflect with gratitude on his 18 and a half years of exemplary service and recognize the lasting impact he has had on the New Haven Fire Department and the community he so proudly served. Now therefore be it proclaimed that I, Brian Meissen, on behalf of the Village Council and the residents of the Village of New Haven, do hereby extend our deepest appreciation and heartfelt congratulations to Captain Bill Mussolini upon his retirement and wish him continued happiness, health, and fulfillment in the years ahead. Adopted on this 11th day of November 2025. Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Looks like
Is there a photo?
Chief's wanting the photo.
Thank you, thank you. I just want to say thank you to everybody, council, fire department, village, for giving me the privilege of serving for almost 19 years. The only difference between this and what these guys back here do every day is they're still doing it. So you guys got the pleasure of having one of the best fire departments in the state. I've seen a lot of them, and these guys are great. And hopefully I'll be training the future people for this fire department, because I'm going to be teaching at one of the academies come next year. So hopefully I'll still have a little part of what goes on. So thanks again.
Thank you for your service, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Agenda items for December 9th, 2025. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine, go ahead.
Threw off the groove a little bit.
Agenda items for the December meeting are due by the end of November, please.
Thank you. Item B, Planning Commission update. Trustee Dilbert.
We met last Tuesday, and we had a couple items on the agenda. A special land use request by a special land use request by Wise Buy, which was tabled. Eventually was tabled after a lot of conversation, and we had a site plan approval for Maritime, which was, I think, a preliminary site plan approval has been, there's some things that they still got to come back and satisfy as far as landscaping and whatnot. And we also set a public hearing for a lot combine for the library. And like the gentleman had mentioned earlier, Tuesday's Planning Commission was probably one of the worst meetings I've attended in my 50 years of sitting on various boards, from council to planning to ZBA. I would encourage everyone on this board to take the time and view the video, because it was totally embarrassing. I mean, it totally got out of hand.
And I would agree that the applicant was out of hand, but our chair was also out of hand. So it worked both ways, and one comment just fueled another comment, just fueled another response, just fueled another, and it really got out of hand. And as a lifelong resident of this village, I don't ever want to witness or hear anything pertaining to the operation of this community being conducted like that, because that tape that Joe films, I mean, it's a record, and it shows us in a light that we don't ever want to be seen at.
It was so bad, I almost did not turn the tape in.
It's ugly. Take your time, find out when it's being shown, and we can do better. We can do better.
Yeah, I think, if I may, I think that there will probably be some sort of discussion at next month's meeting regarding that. Just didn't have enough time to pull something together right now, but. All right, with that one said, we'll go to item number D, Parks and Rec update, Trustee Guerrero.
Yeah, we have a couple of upcoming trips coming to Detroit Zoo Lights, Saturday the 17th of November. We have a nice one coming in February, the Underground Railroad. Just like the things happen with Parks and Rec. That being said, unfortunately, Brian, I have to step down from that. So I'm hoping that someone here in the council can relieve me in January. I have any more commitment, so I don't know if someone's who's interested.
All right, maybe we can put that on, we have that on the agenda for December. Thank you, Trustee Guerrero. And thank you for your years of being on the Parks and Rec Committee and all your work that has been done over the years on that. Really appreciate it. In addition to some of the announcements, if I can piggyback off the Parks and Rec update of Trustee Guerrero, we have a couple of other events that are also happening that aren't necessarily Parks and Rec related, but I wanted to at least spread the word. This Saturday, there is a community breakfast that's happening at Haven Place. It is being sponsored in part by Main Street Grill and a few community donors. We're going to have 2 servings of breakfast for anybody that needs it. With the government shutdown and SNAP benefits, we realize that there's a need at the moment. So there will be that'll be a community breakfast at Haven Place. And then there's also quite a bit of dry goods for anybody that needs it that has also been donated for the breakfast for people to come and get. Additionally, huge thank you to Genevieve Brodzik and Chief Steer. They have spearheaded with Gleaners to have a food distribution, which will be on the following Monday, this coming Monday. Will be held out of the fire department. Gleaners is donating about 300 boxes of food to us to help distribute out for northern Macomb County. So we're getting some much needed relief. And then of course, we have our community dinner that's coming up 21st, November 21st, I think. Yeah. The community dinner, the Lennox New Haven Community Dinner over at the high school. So all the flyers and everything is up out on our village Facebook page. So a lot of great opportunities for the community to come together and support one another and just share in the community spirit. All right, with that, unfinished business, we have the funeral home and Seaford update. We do have Chief Steer, if you want to come up first and introduce the topic. And then we do have the property owner here as well.
Good evening. What's being passed around is some recent pictures that were taken this morning of both 58855 Main Street and 58611 Main Street, known as the Seaford Home and the funeral home. Last week, we boarded up floor of that secret home to prevent any further damage to the home and to prevent any unwanted people or animals inside of the building. Mr. Shoddy is here present tonight. I spoke to him while we were boarding up the home. I spoke to him later on that afternoon. He is here today to ask the board and plead his case for the two properties moving forward. This started probably was at the beginning of this year. The roof was starting to get repaired off of the funeral home. We issued a stop work order, there's no permits were pulled. So since then, it's been tarped, visqueen, and it's in a state of disrepair. We came to the board last month to ask for some guidance to secure that building before winter set in and make it safe for us, for the residents. And if there was any individuals living in those houses, to safely remove them and board up the windows and the doors. So today, again, we're here just to ask what the pleasure of the council is for the funeral home and move forward. Mr. Shoddy did come in earlier and did pull demolition permits, roofing permits, I believe an electrical permit. He will speak on his behalf of what that actually transpired. So again, today we are looking for guidance from the board on how to proceed.
You said he came in today to pull permits?
No, last week.
Okay, I'm sorry. No, he was going to say.
Mr. Shoddy, if you want to come up and speak to the council before, on the table, Mr. Shoddy did bring in a plan of action for review. And if you want to go ahead and talk to us.
Yeah, as far as the funeral home, the plan is just to demolish that whole back section right out of there and gut the existing after that. And then have the building department, kind of give a review on what needs to be done for code. And I have Jim here, he's hired to gut the place. And as far as Main Street, whatever I gotta do to bring that to code, like I said, end of summer, I'd like to be able to move in there. I'd like to get out of my current house. Whatever has to be done to, I know everything got backlogged and delayed and put on the side burner, but I have a wife I take care of.
Mr. Shoddy did say that he'd be willing to do weekly updates, reports to the building department and to our fire chief.
Yeah, if they want to stop by every week, that's, I'm fine with that. Then I can, hey, we did this, we did this, we did this. I'm off work for the rest of the year, so up until summer, so I got all winter to be there every day.
So knowing that we do have the court order involved, what, are we allowed to?
As far as the Main Street too, it's, I got already DTE, that's a job number for a new service. That's already in the works through DTE. And, Dependable Power is going to take it from the inside.
Well, I know I speak probably for all of us on the board that none of us want to see either of the buildings demolished. If there is the opportunity of actually seeing progress.
Well, that's why I'm here tonight, because I know we got to move like lightning.
That's what we really wanted, was some action on it. He's here now and has a plan, and he's gonna provide weekly updates.
Like I said, all permits, work with the fire department, the building department. They can come by weekly, see what's done, I have no problems with it.
Yeah, I mean, we can do this on a month-to-month basis where we keep this as an agenda item on the council.
I could even come in every board meeting and like, okay, we did this, and you can verify it.
What's the pleasure of council?
My wife passed, so I have all the time in the world now.
Sorry for you.
I
Just,
think the first thing that has to be done, particularly with the funeral home, is the completion of the roof and the demo of the rear. How soon do you think that's gonna take place?
what do you mean?
The completion of the roof on the funeral home
Yeah,
and the demo of the rear, how soon is that gonna take place?
well, the roof is gonna get done right away. The demo is for the month of December.
When is the roof?
The paper, on the second page should be the funeral home. It shows kind of a monthly agenda for progress.
But when is the roofer starting at the funeral?
Friday. It's a 2-week project.
I only have a limited number of copies, but I do have the electronic version. I scanned it, so I can forward it out to everybody.
So that takes us to the very end of November. And then,
And then the beginning of December is got off the back part and demo it.
What impact would, would be for the attorney,
yeah, that was gonna be my.
what impact would any action we take tonight have on the judgment that we did get?
It doesn't impact it. That board, the court order on both properties allows the board to act at its discretion, essentially. There's no issue with allowing this to move forward if you want it. And on the other end, if you don't have to. You have the order in place. But it doesn't, allowing it to go forward would not impact it. We can, if things aren't carried through on, we can always go back.
So basically, it gives me no choice but to get it done.
And the next question I do have is, I'm not an expert in any way in it, but it just seems like the work that has to be done is substantial. What is the realistic expectation of it all getting done to be up to code?
There's where I'm starting. And then after we complete that list, I would submit another plan of action for the next 3 months.
Are you going to sell the properties when you're done with them?
No.
And you don't have to answer that, that's just curiosity.
No, the house, I would like to get it done up the code and move in by the end of summer.
See if he wants to move into.
And I understand I gotta get occupancy permit, all inspections, utilities.
Chief, sir?
The building department would be fine with a mandated timeframe. We spoke, the guy can't live there, not negotiable.
Right, he's already been
Not
notified.
And the building needs to be secured, it needs to, and I think we spoke, you put a padlock on it. If we notice the padlock's gone, it's null and void. You have 30 days to do the roof. The foundation, of the Seaford home would be on top priority. The
Okay.
building department has recommended condemnation moving forward. So it would be a very strict 30 days to get that roof done, 30 days to get that back half done, and just secure it for the weather and make sure that there's no critters and or people getting inside it. If there's any broken windows, there are a couple windows open in the second story.
Yeah, the
Securing
broken
all
windows
those,
gonna go,
they have to be, they have to be fixed. These are all really, non-negotiable items, especially the roof, and the person living in there.
Yeah,
has to go.
he's notified, he's in Romulus right now, he's supposed to be either coming this weekend with the keys so we can get those vehicles that hung around there, or he's to mail me the keys.
So I spoke with Mr. Yules quite a few
Or I
times,
the Allards told it to the storage yard.
quite a few times over these properties over the last couple of weeks. But again, it is the decision of the board, and we will do what you would like.
I did forward his timeline of events out to all of council and also to our attorneys. So everybody does have an electronic copy in your mailbox. If everybody's kosher with it, we give the 30 days and then come back at December's council meeting.
Need a motion or?
Do we need a motion on that? Probably, yeah, probably a motion to bring it back to December council meeting.
And I'll come to the meeting.
I make a motion to bring it back at December's council meeting with the renovations or the demolition that Chief Steer has also recommended.
I don't know what the timeline is, so.
I'm for the two
Okay. Specifically,
And I broke out,
Specifically,
the roof of,
Yeah,
specifically the roof of the funeral home, the boarding up of the funeral home, and then the demolition of that back. And then we really gotta get going on that,
right, that foundation.
that foundation. Like I said, again, it is the recommendation of the building department to, for accommodation. But again, we're here to.
And it's really just the hours, so.
It is,
It's not
it's
even
a mission, it is a mission basement, right? It's probably how it lasts most of them.
It's definitely going to outlast this building.
Yes. So again, whatever the recommendation
We have a motion.
I have a question. During all the proceedings and stuff, did he ever make contact? Okay, didn't show up at any of the hearings or anything?
I do have one question too, the boarding off, am I getting billed for that?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Bill for that and all.
Could get that out right away, so it's not lingering.
We have a motion on the table. Do we have support?
Support.
It's been moved and supported that we bring this back to the December meeting for an update on both properties. Roll call, please.
Trustee Guerrero?
Yes.
Trustee Hashem?
Yes.
Trustee Prokoli?
Yes.
Trustee Gilbert?
Yes.
Trustee Pankowski?
No.
Trustee Nona?
Yes.
President Eisner?
Yes. Thanks, sir. All right. New business, unrelated to the update for the Planning Commission and what happened last month. We did actually also accept a resignation from Ms. Nolan Dilbert. So she is going to be stepping down from the Planning Commission. It was accepted at the meeting. So just looking for a motion and approval to post the Planning Commission opening.
So moved.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to post the Planning Commission opening. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. 2026-2027 budget workshop. We have a request from Ms. Kazel to set a date for our budget workshop, and she would like to also combine it with our water and sewer rate workshop, which we typically do every year. She has 3 dates selected: November 25th, December 4th, or December 11th. The December council meeting is on the 9th. So if we wanted to take action prior to December meeting, we would want to do that on November 25th or December 4th.
I would prefer the fourth, but I can make either one, just because of Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I was gonna leave the board my phone number if anyone needs it.
If you can give it to Chief Steer.
Okay.
Yes, it's the fourth.
December 4th, is that right?
Yeah.
Does that work for most?
Yeah, that's just really most. Yeah. What time, Brian?
We want to do 6:30, 6 o'clock, 6:30, 7,
6:30.
6:30? Give everybody enough time to get home, have dinner, and then hop back here.
Or wake up.
Yeah, or wake up. Okay. So we'll do 6:30 p.m. on Thursday, December 4th. Budget and sewer, water workshop. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? I don't know, was there a motion on that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So moved.
Support.
It's been moved and supported, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
We're
We're November.
We want to do this at flag
It's almost the end of the year. Budget amendments for the fire department. Chief Steer.
I'm going to present this for Sandy, so try not to beat me up too much. So there's a bunch of amendments for the building department, the fire department, and we're going to start our own budget for the code enforcement. So in front of you, it shows you that we had a revenue decrease of $19,000, $19,998.88. An expense decrease of $25,706. For the building department, we had a revenue increase of $2,235 with an expense increase of $18,360.25. Code enforcement had a revenue increase of $7,500 and an expense increase of $5,116.25. So what we are doing is we're doing allocations from the building department to the fire fund for the use of vehicles, my pay, and Lieutenant Byron's pay, because he is now part of the code enforcement job duties of the village. So we're just looking for these amendments to go through for the remainder of this FY.
Yeah, and so one of the efficiencies that we're seeing, and I think I've mentioned this in the past, with having the building department under the fire department and code enforcement activities under the fire department, we're able to, utilize our, full-time fire staff for some code enforcement activity, patrolling for, lawn grass or sidewalks.
Right,
or
so we're just doing the grass and the which will be the snow removal of the sidewalks. Code enforcement is continuing to do all the commercial enforcement and all the blight within the village. So we're just doing, because we have the ability to be here every day, so we drive the village every day and leave out the door hangers. From there, we let the code enforcement officer know, and then he keeps a running tally, and he's the one that issues the fines moving forward.
Any questions for Chief Steer?
I will make a motion to accept the budget amendments as presented.
Second.
Code, fire, and building department.
It's been moved and supported. Any discussion on the motion?
I got one question. What does your job has to do with the building department?
I am the supervisor of the building department now.
We made that
Back
change.
in May. So basically 20% of my pay.
We got it on the agenda one of those months, like in May.
This spring.
It was in the spring.
Where were we seeing that? Okay.
Yeah, if it wasn't on the agenda, it was coffin table.
Okay. That's news to me.
Yeah, so we're seeing the synergies. So, ultimately we have code enforcement, our code enforcement officer, he is being managed by the fire department. The building department is being managed by the fire department. Since Chief Steer is here, full-time, that gives him the ability to have the synergies. And we talked about it when we were talking about the commercial property inspections that the fire department was doing, that we're seeing the synergies of having the fire department and the building department working together on all these inspections that are taking place. And then the fire department will also be helping with the residential rental inspections. So there's just a lot of synergies of getting fire department utilization. So we have moved and supported. Any further discussion on the motion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Bunkowski?
Yes.
Trustee Pepolo?
Yes.
Trustee Dona?
Yes.
Trustee Dilbert?
No.
Trustee Guerrero?
Yes.
Trustee Cashel?
Yes.
President Mason?
Yes. All right. Next on the agenda, we have hazard mitigation plan.
So the hazard mitigation plan is for 2025 to 2030. Basically, it outlines the risk that we have in the community specific to flooding. So we've identified 5 priorities in which we have asked for quite a few $1 million in FEMA funding. I'll just run over those real quick. It is a backup generator. It is a backup generator for the pump and the lift station. It is a severe weather siren replacement by the community center. And it's a sewer, we're looking to put in some sewer over at, what's that?
Stormwater.
Stormwater at, what was that, Main and Roselle? I think it's Main and Roselle, the little section over there that there is no current stormwater. So we're just looking for a resolution to give to the county. I think I attached the resolution, I just didn't know where that date. So we can enter in the 2025 to 2030 hazard mitigation plan to the county.
And the items that were submitted to FEMA were working coordination between all of the department heads to come up with the plan to, requests. That we have the benefit of having the backup generator at the pump stations, stormwater mitigation. These are all things that FEMA will allow us to apply for the grants for. Any questions for the fire chief? We have a resolution number.
2025-00.
Motion of order.
I'll move to adopt resolution 2025-005, our New Haven hazard mitigation plan.
Support.
It's been moved and doubly supported that we adopt resolution 2025-005, was it?
Yes.
Hazard mitigation plan with Macomb County. Any further discussion on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item number F, Vertex quote to repair HVAC in police department space upstairs in the fire department.
So currently, the police department is housed in the upstairs of the fire department and only have a little floor air conditioner. It is quite a few years old. I've received 2 complaints from the sheriff's department that it's too hot upstairs for the deputies. So I attempted to try to clean it and just do a little maintenance on our air conditioner, and it's just not big enough for the space. So we're here to ask for an air conditioner for the upstairs. And the reason why we're coming now is, I know it's winter, but there's a decent amount of electrical work that needs to be done before this can get put in. So the quote you have in front of you is from one of our approved vendors here at the village that does all of our HVAC, and that quote is $6,700.
Any questions for Chief Sarah on this one?
I don't have a question for him, but I have a general question related to that and the parking lot. So, are we staying here?
So regardless of whether or not we're staying here, even if we were to leave the building, we still have to have it in good working order. So the parking lot, Attorney Rules could probably speak on one of the requests from our landlord regarding the parking lot when we get to that subject. But for the HVAC and whatnot, Yeah, I mean, for the foreseeable future, we have the fire department, the police department is using the fire department's loft.
Right.
We are still working with the landlord on trying to get the police department side of the building fixed. And then future, you know, once the police department does move out of the loft area, I believe that would be the intention of the fire department to utilize that space up there in the loft area again.
Can we consider this, what, collateral damage for the police department section not being able to be used and us having to do this to?
Yeah, I mean, either way, if anybody was using that loft area, it would be a little hot up there, but
But it should have been built with the air conditioning properly working up there, correct?
It never had one.
It never had air conditioning up there?
It was just a forced air furnace.
I'm not saying that this shouldn't be done, I'm just saying who should pay for it.
unfortunately with our triple net lease, I have a feeling that we're on the hook either way. Attorney Yules, what's your opinion?
Yeah, we're actually supposed to be talking with council for the town center next week to try to, we're just waiting on them basically to come back with a proposal as to how we approach this.
The building.
The building versus, the building and the parking lot.
So I mean, depending on what they come back with, we might be calling a special meeting for that.
So I guess based on that, I think this is something that should be tabled until we know what's going on there.
Okay. You good with that, Chief?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
what
So
are
if they're gonna
steps?
need it anytime soon, there's just a
Right.
decent amount of electrical work that they do.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to table the HVAC repair replace.
So move to support it that we table the Vertex quote and bring that back at the December meeting. Any further discussion on that motion?
She seconded
All in favor?
it.
All opposed? Motion carries. Yes, sir, thank you. Village Hall parking lot. Do you want to speak on this one too, or?
It kind of goes hand in hand with it, just, yeah,
Well, is this one a table, or is this, because I think that was one of the conditions that they wanted, right?
yeah, they want the parking lot done, as part of any resolution with regards to the building.
Well, I think that should come to us secondary. That should come to us after. I don't think, I want a lot of things too from them. So would you like my list? I mean, I'm not trying to be sassy, but.
No, I get it,
Right,
I get it.
right.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I want that parking lot to be perfect. We deserve, as a community, a standard, and a standard is that the parking lot is in good shape.
The problem is that our lease says we're responsible for it.
Right, I understand that,
Yeah.
but we still have some unfinished business.
I think we'll be able to.
There's things they're responsible for that they're not.
Right.
Right.
Well, that's
Right, and that's what, yeah, it's, the negotiation is basically that.
Right.
That, how do we get the parking lot situated and get what we need with the building,
Right,
so.
because I don't
It is,
object to
you're right.
either item, excuse me.
Anything else can talk
But
to
I also know that there's a laundry list of things that they have not committed or
Right.
completed yet, so I think we need to pause, but that's my opinion, and there's 6 other people.
Well, I totally agree with your opinion, because you're right, you know, when 20% of this building or 25% of this building is not occupied now, because
Right.
it's, you know, so why should we go out there and fix a parking lot?
Right. Doesn't matter what the parking lot.
They
looks
haven't
like
done
if
on
the walls
airport
going down.
park, that's been, what, 3 years, 4 years?
Years.
Okay.
I don't see the parking lot getting done without some sort of movement on
Yeah.
their,
Yeah.
but we have to get on what they're willing to give us.
Right, I agree with that.
Okay, yeah, and I mean, let's face it, it is November, so it's not like D&J is gonna, even if we were to approve this now, it's not like they're gonna jump on it and get it done in the next month, so.
Table it.
Motion to table until next month.
Please, yes, support.
Moved and supported that we table D&J Village parking lot topic until next month. Right, next up we have.
Hold on, you get.
Oh, I'm sorry, geez, oh, geez. I know, I'm just trying to hustle us through. It's been moved and supported. Any further discussion on the motion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. I'm just so confident that everybody's going to be on board with this.
It doesn't work out.
2026 road projects. So I do have an executive summary in here. I wanted to give everybody an update. The TEDF Category B grant funding that has been awarded to the respective recipients. We were not selected. And furthermore, not even a bigger kick is that the grant funding for the Category B is now dried up. So there will be no more application cycles for that grant funding that we have really relied on for a lot of our road repairs over the years. We had talked about previously two roads in question, East Brampton Street and Montclair Street. Both of them are of relatively equal length. Surmet actually just gave us for some Act 51 reporting. He gave us actually a whole list of Pazer road repairs, which I believe I included in the packet. So you can actually see basically your menu of road repairs within the village and what the cost is. So for those two sections of road, Montclair Street and East Brampton Street, as of about a month ago, the estimate was about $280,000 each, or a grand total of $560,000. I did have in the executive summary, though, it is worth noting, both of those streets are rated at 4 on either side and 3 in the middle. It is not, we have a lot of 4s and 3s in the village. It's not a 2, like a lot of the other streets we have been focusing in on. And I know that there has been some discussion in the past about tabling road repairs for a year to bank in case we need to use it for major roads. So with that said, I'd like to gauge the opinion of council and what your direction is, what you'd like to see us do for next year. Yes, sir.
Local streets is pretty much broke. We had to borrow $400,000 from, I think, highway improvement.
Yep.
Just to pay for the projects that we completed this year. So local streets would have to borrow this amount of money. And I thought I would agree that we did speak a few months back that we would sit the year out and see where our Act 51 money is and kind of let things accumulate. I mean, see if that fund could grow a little more. Because you're talking $560,000, I think it is.
That was for the 2 roads that we had
For
previously.
those two, that, they can use some repair. I drove them today, and I don't think they're to the point where they're a hazard. I mean, it's a residential street. Speed limit's only, I don't know what it is, 15 or 20? 25. So it's not like it's I think we can live with those roads for at least another year.
Yeah, and that was my thought too. I mean, we do, and I threw it in there. The only 2 that we do have in the village is Lewis. We've put it off a lot of times, but also recognize that the amount of traffic on Lewis Street is probably
very
5 cars a week.
Yeah.
I brought it up at the first to consider banking a year, because, I mean, our road fund is essentially living check to check. I mean, if you look at what we've been doing roads, but it's been check to check, and our local street fund is actually living off of credit, off of, highway fund. So I do think that, we should bank a year, and in the meantime, if any of these roads completely fail on us, then we do have the funding to do those if we had to. But I think that we should save up for a larger project in the future.
Ultimately, I'm in agreement. I don't know the technicality of it all, but Ms. Kazel did find in talking with, I think it was the state regarding Act 51 and how all the funding goes in and out of the different accounts. There was some sort of clause that if she filed certain type of paperwork, it does allow us to more freely move the money from the highway fund to local streets, but I don't want that to be our regular course of business.
What if we need it for highway?
Right, exactly. On a positive note, it sounds like the state might actually have granted some more funding dollars for road repairs, but how much of that will actually trickle down to us? I'm hearing, I actually just met with the county last week, and they were throwing out figures of 14 million to 30 million. My thought was there's 23 communities, 27 communities in Macomb County. Give everybody $1 million and they can have the rest, and we'll figure out what to do with it. But I have a feeling that's not what they're going to do.
Wishful thinking.
Right, it ain't going to work like that. So, we hopefully next year, if we do bank and see what fleshes out with the state. A lot of the funding for the state budget coming to the county is predicated by the increase in the marijuana tax, which is, I think, almost immediately wound up in court. So we'll see if that, as Executive Hackle said, Ken from Harrison Township, his new campaign slogan can be "Smoke more dope, give our roads some hope." So, but we'll see. We'll see what comes of the state out of that. But it does seem like maybe if we were to bank a year, that'd be the best move.
Same subject, just a different location. The Clark Street Bridge. Did we ever get the report back from AEW?
Oh, that's a good question. We did. We had.
They're contracted to inspect that on an annual basis.
Yeah, I remember that coming across.
I bring that up because I know that at some point in time that bridge is going to have to be undergo a major overhaul, and that was primary the focus of that highway improvement plan.
Yeah,
was for that project.
Yeah, Sir Matt, are you familiar with if we got anything back from AEW on that?
I usually don't get a copy of that.
Yeah. Okay.
They should be submitting that.
Yeah. Okay. We'll follow up with Superintendent over then, and see if we got that back. All right. Pleasure of council to not allocate any roads for 2026.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we need a motion on that? I don't think we do. Okay. All right. That brings us to item number I, BSNA.net to cloud. I do have an executive summary in here for everyone. Ms. Kazel, Chief Steer, and we met with our sales representative from BSNA. One of the things that we keep running into is that the only way for us to actually access the BSNA modules is you either have to be here on site within the village office, or you have to VPN in. VPN has been hit and miss for some folks and not always the easiest way to accomplish that, because to VPN in, you actually have to have a dedicated computer here in the office to actually remote into. We don't install the BSNA modules locally on other people's computers. So that said, this is something that You guys know me by now. I've been really pushing for cloud solutions. It makes life a lot easier for accessing these items remotely. And so we met with Michael from BSNA to talk about their cloud solution. As one of the members of the audience mentioned, other communities have been switching over to cloud. I believe the cloud services have been around now for about 4 years. They have a number of communities which have onboarded onto BSNA Cloud already. We would not be one of the first. It's mature at this point. And when we were having this discussion, it was also mentioned that at some point .NET is going to be phased out. So we don't really have too much of a choice. We kind of have to switch over to cloud eventually at some point. One of the big benefits as well, I skipped over, had in the executive summary. Right now, every single module is its own database. So we actually have, for the building department, we have one database of clients and residents and all that. And in the utility billing, we have a completely different database. And a lot of work goes into reconciling all these different databases and tables to make sure that they all have the same data. With BSNA Cloud, it's all one database. So you don't get this disparity between the two different modules or three different modules that we're using. So from that perspective alone, it would really increase our efficiency. One of the other cool things, and this is just me being a bells and whistles type of guy, with the cloud, you log in and there's actually, you get like this home page with widgets. And right at a glance, like the utility billing clerk, she'd be able to log in. She could see how many late water bills, boom, right there, on the screen. The building department clerk would be able to log in and she can have widgets that shows, the number of pending permits that are open. Code enforcement would be able to log in and they would have widgets that would remind them of any code enforcement activity that needs to take place. So there's a lot of benefit here, and unfortunately it does come at a cost though. So if I scroll down to the actual quote that we received, this was for, we had two quotes that they originally gave us. One was to add additional modules for accounts receivable, which would allow us to more easily bill for different things. But right now, we just want to work on upgrading the current modules that we have, the existing modules, and then we can go from there and decide if we want to add anything else. So for a pure upgrade of the existing modules, the total upgrade cost would be the $62,930. They didn't mention it in the proposal here, but they did mention to us that if cost was a concern, they could try to ramp up. I guess I won't even go into that because that isn't included here. So the cost would be the $62,930.
And is the annual fee every year?
It is.
And is that going to change or is that locked in?
They typically, if I remember correctly, Chief Steer, did they say, I think annually it's like 5% increase typically?
Year over year, yeah.
Year over year increase of about 5%.
But we'll offset by what we already paid that will go away, because we pay for the .NET.
Correct, yeah, so
there's
right
always some
now,
offset.
right now we are paying a little over $5,000 for .NET. So this is 4 times as expensive annually. But you get quite the efficiency upgrade as well, and accessibility. Thoughts? The cost of this would be split amongst all the different departments. So it would be building department.
And wasn't there a 3-year time limit on this? Wasn't it?
I think they said that it was 3 years was until .NET retired. So we had like 3 years basically to get off of .NET and get onto the cloud. And I think the time lead was 10 months.
Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, I think it was 10 months. So even if we approve this now, they wouldn't even be ready to start converting us over to the cloud until 10 months from now, almost a full year.
But the cost will stay the same.
This cost will, I believe this cost will stay the same, if not, it'd be a 5% increase. They did say that
Well,
you're,
this says to February, the prices go to, I assume that says 2026.
So none of these costs will take effect for at least 10 months?
no. So they, like I said, this will come out of the different departments because there's all the different modules, so building, utility, cemetery, etc.
And are they gonna be responsible for the data integration, since it's different in all the different?
Yeah, so they don't have it listed in this, but they did extensively talk about database upgrades that they would be responsible for, and they would work with the village for the reconciliation. They would lean on our staff for reconciling the databases, since we'll know what is the right customer information and all that.
And I see training is listed several times in here.
Mr. Miller?
I mean, is this the only software company offering these services?
This is the software company that the vast majority of Michigan uses. I think almost every single municipality, and it's something over 90%, I would say easily.
So the question, you said, since it takes 10 months, it could be a 5% on the annual fee increase, but is there an increase on the actual upgrade if it takes that long from this price, since this is February?
I don't believe, but I can confirm.
I think we need to confirm before we.
Okay.
So we know exactly what we're approving. If the price is not very good.
So that they're giving us this quote today, but they're not gonna implement it.
I know, that's why I'm kind of hesitating, because it's not jiving in my mind either.
Are they that busy, or?
Yeah, they're lead out on this, because they are doing upgrades on everybody else, on all the other municipalities.
I think we need a little bit more detailed information. We can see what till next month and get that.
Yeah, I mean, with the 10-month, we don't necessarily have to do this tonight, so.
Are they that far out because there are a lot of municipalities still on .NET that are doing this conversion because it's going to be forced?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, I want to say, did he throw out a figure of like 400 municipalities already on cloud?
Yeah, something like that.
But there's a lot of other municipalities that are still getting onboarded.
I know you can't see it, but like the page number in the corner, like Trustee Bunkowski was saying, but it does say prices good through February of 20.
Yeah, 20 something. Oh, 2026.
It's 2026.
Okay. Yeah,
You have.
so since the prices are good through February, why don't we bring this back to December? I'll confirm whether or not, if we agree with this before then, does that then lock us in? I would assume it does, but just to be safe, I will double check.
Thank you.
Okay, do we have a motion to table until December?
So moved.
Moved and doubly supported that we table this until December. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Call from the floor.
I just want to let you know that that BSNA, there's really two other places that aren't using it in the state. That's the state of Michigan and the city of Grand Rapids. Pretty much any other municipality that uses a system uses BSNA. And that's where you get that difficulty, is when you take all those things and try to put them together. That's where you have the hard part, when you first start with cloud. But they've been around for 35 years. I've been doing building inspections, so.
You got to map the data properly.
Yeah. Thank you. That's all.
Any other call from the floor? Call from the table?
Thank you for this map that was in our mailbox.
Oh, yeah, so I did put that into everybody's mailbox. So last week, in addition to meeting with the county for roads, we also had what I'd like to call speed dating of residential commercial development. So it was like a 30-second spiel on the Village of New Haven. A lot of other municipalities were there, and then we had developers and real estate companies coming up to us and talking to us about different opportunities. So huge thank you to CWA. They put that map together of all the different properties that are available within the village currently, and then also some other properties that aren't necessarily listed for sale, but might be development opportunities in the future. So, and then I did have even noted in there too that we do have some village-owned property right downtown. You know, if somebody was willing to make something work, you know, we could bring it back to council, have a discussion on that. So try to get some development going.
Thank you for that.
All right, if there's no other call from the table, a motion is in order. All in favor?
Aye.
So moved.